G'day. Just wanted to do a video on something that's becoming increasingly relevant for people that are in the spiritual movement. The 4D movement, 5D movement, and the realization of ages like Kali and Aquarius, and the Book of Revelation for Christians. Um, I studied the Book of Revelation a long time ago, and I really enjoyed it, obviously. And I did some tarot as well, and attempted to devise a tarot deck, which included a lot of those revelations from the Revelation. And it was quite a number of years ago. Well, I guess it was 17 or 16 years ago, or around there anyway, where I worked out by the grace of God, or some sort of divine moment, that the Book of Revelation wasn't what we've been led to believe it is. I back then I had a suspicion that it was a riddle, and then I researched it, and went deep on it, and didn't eat for a while, and it was an intense period, but I got through a few chapters that really interest me, and with the help of astrology, of all things, I was able to determine that each of the characters, which are quite clearly described in the Book of Revelation, whether it was a beast or a woman, or the two witnesses, for example, it seemed, once I could see it with eyes, it seemed quite obvious to me. Yeah, so each of the characters in the Book of Revelation is pretty much represented by an astrological sign, whether it's the woman with the moon at her feet is, of course, Virgo. The two witnesses must be Gemini, and the two beasts must be the solstice characters, which are, of course, Cancer and Capricorn. Now, I'm not going to go through why or how it's them, but a lot of that stuff has already been touched on by other people as well. Like the Virgo one in particular is a very popular belief, and I'd certainly agree with that. Yeah, so you basically, I characterize it as Ptolemy's riddle. Ptolemy devised, I think it was 44 astrological signs, and if you look at them and look at the Book of Revelation, you can pretty much get to the bottom of so many characters in the book. But then it sort of asks the question, is there another meaning behind the meaning? Is it just a riddle? And I would say yes. So the Christians pretty much own the Book of Revelation. There are other theories and other books out there as well, and other I think it's Sybil, the prophet Sybil. There's two prophets Sybil, but one in particular, she got some messages. And apparently one of those books is very similar to the Book of Revelation. So the Book of Revelation, of course, would have suffered at the hands of the interpreters, and would have been skewed in a direction which suited the people that relied on it to, let's just say, the powers that be. That's easy. I'm not a big fan of the powers that be, because of course we are the power that be in all of us. But say, for argument's sake, the powers that be that did their own interpretations to suit themselves, which more than anything just took out the entire divine feminine aspect of it, even though some of these most remarkable prophets were in fact prophetess or goddesses in prophecy. Yeah, so just to give a sort of bare bones, broad strokes sort of point of view, it's not we're not going to get things coming out of the sky. It doesn't work like that. There's not going to be chariots coming out of the sky. If there are, then I'd be very, very suspicious of anything like that. There's not going to be angels of doom, beasts with 10 heads and 6 horns and 7 horns and stuff like that, 2 horns, coming down out of the sky, which is pretty much the Christian, view of it. To make my point for the purposes of tonight, the cancer, which is the crab, of course, I think is the first beast. I haven't looked at this stuff for a while, but I know how it goes. And that is, let me preface this with, basically divinity in the Bible is giving up anything, everything for your spirit. So in our speak, in New Age speak, that spirit is our divine self. And we take away everything materialistic, pretty much, just enough to survive, and get rid of so much in our lives, and basically turn ourselves into a hermit in order to determine or discover who we are. So following that premise, the book of Revelation must be describing the concept of money, materialism, and wealth taking over the divine spirit. And the reason why people think that we're in the end times and we're in Kali and we're going through a transition through, say, Pisces from Aquarius into a different age, and it all is very consistent, considering some people are New Age, some people are Hindu, some people are Christian, and they're all saying the same thing. And the reason for that is because all spiritual paths lead to giving up materialism. So consistent with that, what I'm suggesting and what I subscribe to is that the beasts have always been here and always gone around and round, and we're always looking to who's the beast, because our Western world is so wonderful. It must be some sort of foreign power or something like that. But of course, as Pogo said, I have seen the enemy, and it is us. We are the beast. We are right in it, and it goes back. Like I said, it's been Greece, Rome, all the way back, Persia. It's just the same story. It's just a cycle. It's nothing to be angry about or sinister about. In our cycle, the first beast is, of course, United Kingdom. So nobody brought destruction of human spirit as effectively and as proficiently as the United Kingdom. They basically, that system of banking, industrialism, it all just led to the destruction of the human spirit. It's like you work for us now, and you work a 5-day week, and you work at least 8 hours a day. It was just ridiculous. And even children were brought into the mix. It was just disgusting. And that was all simply to create wealth. And you can't be negative about the outcomes of it, because it's just a cycle. It's okay. You can find divinity in a jail cell, and so many have, and we've heard the stories. And you can certainly find divinity in the Western world. Your own divinity. But so the first beast is, of course, the United Kingdom, and therefore the cousin must be the United States. So that's your two beasts, and that's just an introduction of what the Book of Revelation stands for me, my perspective, just my point of view. If you want to go back and have a look at it, you can do all the maths and stuff on it, and all the interpretations yourself, because there's no point in me telling you anything unless you go, oh, bing, that's a possibility. I'm going to have another look at that passage and see how that relates to how these massive empires brought basically the destruction of human spirit. So it's nothing sinister or anything like that. But that's a nice introduction, and I'll just leave it at that at this point and come back to maybe more later. Thank you.